June 2020 Planetary Transits for Aries and Aries Rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Aries on the ascendant, Eastern Daylight Time, New York. We begin June 1st, 2020 with 2 retrograde planets in Capricorn in the 10th house sector. Jupiter at 26 degrees, conjunct Pluto at 24 degrees of Capricorn. The Sun is placed in the 3rd house at 11 degrees of Gemini, with the planet Venus at 15 degrees of Gemini, retrograde. The planet Mercury is at 4 degrees of Cancer in the 4th house. In the 11th house, we have the planet Saturn at 1 degree of Aquarius, retrograde. Mars is moving through the 12th house at 12 degrees of Pisces, with Neptune at 20 degrees Pisces. The Moon is in Libra at 8 degrees in the 7th house sector, and Uranus is in the 2nd house at 8 degrees of Taurus. Overview. June of 2020 brings 3 major events. The second hit at exactitude of the magnificent Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, an annular solar eclipse, and the entrance of Mars in Aries for a 6-month-long transit. Let's look at each one and determine the life areas that will be impacted. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction will make its second hit at exactitude in your 10th house sector at 24 degrees Capricorn, 6 minutes retrograde. Planets in retrograde motion bring a review and a readjustment. In the 10th house, career goals, plans, and responsibilities, as well as the manner in which you proceed in these life areas, will be redetermined. Additionally, due to the positive, expansive nature of this conjunction, whatever you require to move forward will be available. This conjunction is characterized by lucky, fated events, but there are pitfalls over the next 6 months due to Mars in high tension. Please refer to my videos on the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction 2020 for Aries and Aries Rising, uploaded in December 2019, as well as my video on the 6-month transit of Mars in Aries for Aries and Aries Rising. The second and third events of importance occurring in June 2020 is the annular solar eclipse of June 21st at 0 degrees Cancer, 21 minutes, happening in your 4th house of home, family, and property, which is activated by Mars entering Aries on June 27th. On June 27th, 28th, and 29th, as Mars ignites the eclipse point in your 4th house, there could be a crisis or just intense activity and change on the home front or with family members. Eclipse activations bring emphasis and focus to the life area it impacts. Of course, if you know your exact time of birth and have your astrological chart, you'll also have greater accuracy of interpretation. On June 2nd, Venus square Mars between houses 3 and 12 could stir up repressed unconscious anger you have towards someone in a relationship based on their past egocentric behavior patterns. On another level, do not permit any news you receive today to activate your inherent fears. The planet Venus conjuncts the Sun on June 3rd in your 3rd house, a very sociable and affectionate energy. Romantic and creative pursuits are favored, as well as having fun. June 5th brings the full moon, 3:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 15 degrees of Sagittarius, in opposition to the Sun at 15 degrees of Gemini, spanning houses 9 and 3, highlighting travel, all forms of communication, both local and international, legalities, education, the conscious mind, and the intuitive mind. The planet Mars at 15 degrees of Pisces is making a high-tension square, 90-degree aspect to this full moon. This is a highly frictional and impatient full moon. Be careful of what you say and how you say it at this time to avoid major conflicts with others. If you're on the road today, drive defensively, especially if you're irritated or frustrated. On June 6th, under Sun square Mars, between houses 3 and 12, intense ego conflicts with others in your day-to-day environment could erupt. This is an aspect of high energy and aggression, with a tendency to force circumstances with others who will then try to stop you because they feel threatened. Conversely, you may have to contend with someone's overstepping your boundaries. Instead of ego conflicts, use this energy to get a great deal of work done. On June 11th, Sun square Neptune, between houses 3 and 12, is an aspect of deception resulting in confusion. The information you receive on the mental plane may be at odds with what your gut feelings are telling you about a situation. On another level, do not permit any news you receive to activate your inherent fears. Your imagination may be in overdrive. June 13th brings Mars conjunct Neptune in the 12th house, an energy of secret affairs and behind-the-scenes activities. Deceptive actions, however, are not likely to succeed at this time. On another level, the desire to escape the mundane may be strong. Do so in creative ways instead of indulgence in drugs or alcohol. On June 18th, the planet Mercury turns retrograde at 14 degrees of Cancer in the 4th house sector. Also on June 18th, Mars sextiles Pluto between houses 12 and 10, a positive vibration under which to communicate with superiors and suggest changes or reforms in the workplace. The Sun enters Cancer on June 20th, ushering in the summer solstice and moving into your 4th house. Under Mars sextile Jupiter, also on June 20th, between houses 12 and 10, ask for career benefits or favors from superiors. They'll be more receptive at this time. June 21st brings the new moon, 2:42 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 0 degrees of Cancer, 21 minutes in the 4th house, highlighting home and family concerns over the month ahead. Use this energy for a fresh start in family relationships, especially those that have become strained. This new moon is an annular solar eclipse that will be activated by Mars on June 27th, 28th, 29th, emphasizing the concerns of this life area. The planet Neptune turns retrograde on June 23rd at 20 degrees of Pisces in the 12th house. Venus turns direct motion on June 25th at 5 degrees of Gemini in the 3rd house sector. The planet Mars enters Aries on June 27th and moves into the 1st house sector. Mars sextiles Saturn on June 28th between houses 1 and 11 favors getting together with friends for some outdoor activities. A good day to work off steam, hiking, or playing ball. June 30th brings the second hit at exactitude of the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction at 24 degrees Capricorn, 6 minutes, retrograde in your 10th house sector. Also on June 30th, we have Mercury sextile Uranus between houses 4 and 2, and Mercury conjunct the Sun in the 4th house. Both aspects tell the story of intense mental activity and harmonious communication concerning home and family and finances, especially along the lines of reorganizing and restructuring your domicile to fit current needs and the amount of money needed to implement these changes. An excellent time for discussing and creating long-range plans.